I always definitely recommend it. So let me go ahead and so I'm recording and now I'm gonna go share my screen. All right, let's go ahead and get this maybe started. I have a couple tabs open. All right, let's do a slideshow. All right, so AI tools. So I'm definitely by far not an expert. I am just a regular Joe, just like you guys. Actually, I'm usually against jumping on trends and just being on the bandwagon. Like when NFTs came out, I saw all my friends trying to buy NFTs and stuff. I actually stayed away from that with when people were buying GameStop and some of those stocks that really went through the roof because everybody was talking about it. I don't normally just jump on trends. I just stick to what I know while like I do try new things. But I'm not out there chasing every single trend. Like I have this guy that I follow. I kind of, he's not a friend, but like we know each other. There's not a single trend out there what this guy won't start a business with. And I'm not saying that's wrong or anything like that, but that's just not what I prefer. I'm more of an old school dude. It's like focus on one thing, trying to get it working. I've learned the hard way that's the best way to get some success. Is just focusing on one thing. But when it comes to AI, at first I was iffy, just like everything else. And I remember the first day I used ChatGPT, I was like, it was just so much that I was seeing so much like people using it for this, using it for that. And I was like, no way, no way, no way. I was like, no, there's no way that they're doing that. So one day I'm like, you know what? Let me give it a try. So I went in there and I'm like, okay, what should I do? I wonder if I still have my very first prompt. I might. I don't think so, actually. Yeah, I don't think I have it. But I remember I was like, hey, I asked it to write copy for a Facebook ad, and I'm like, hey, write a copy for a Facebook ad that talks about this, and I saw what it wrote, and I was like, holy crap, okay. And then my girlfriend was next to me, and I'm like, yo, check this out. Like this thing is actually writing out like really precise things. Like it feels like it understands my business, and I didn't even give it that much info. And then I'm like, let's give it a try. So we asked it to write a paper on something that she does, which is like med school. And I'm like, write a paper on like cardiovascular health or something, whatever came to my mind. And it wrote an essay, like 5 paragraphs on cardiovascular health. And we're like, holy shit. So I started really looking into it. And then I started asking it questions. So I don't ask it creepy questions. I don't ask any of the stuff that I've seen journalists, talking to it and trying to figure out the meaning of life through ChatGPT. I'm like, I see some of the problems that it has with with the stuff, and it's definitely something controversial. But I really, when I saw what the power of it is, I immediately I was like, there is no stopping this. Whoever tries to stand against this is literally the people that back in the 90s were standing against the internet. Like this is going to be just as transformative as the internet, because we're talking about humans can now, like, tasks that normally would take hours to do, you can literally do it in minutes. And not even just that it can do your job, is that it actually, a lot of people, they think that AI is going to stop us from thinking. And I think that is a risk, right? Just like when the internet came out, a lot of people were worried about privacy and information and misinformation and all that. And a lot of those fears that people had came true with the internet. Is definitely not perfect. Same thing with social media. But um, you can actually use it to help you think. So I actually have conversations with it where I'm having a problem and I'll have a conversation. Like I'll ask it questions to try to like work through my head. And the thing with ChatGPT and these AI tools is that it just has all the information there, like ready to be used. So like something that would have taken me like an hour of Google and asking Google different questions for Google to find the right article for me to then read the article, I can just ask the question, and then I do verify some of the things it says. So I don't just take it how it is, but it, like, I'll find myself having a problem with stuff like, for example, how to set up a commission structure for my sales team. I'll be talking to it. I'm like, am I having a problem with my current commission structure? Is this holding me back? Am I paying too much? Am I paying too little? What is the average in the industry? What should I be doing? What do other companies that do these services do? And it kind of helps you think through it. I've also used it to find tools, to find which is where I think in the future it could be a kind of messed up, is that, for example, I was just like, hey, what tools do you recommend for a software that does this? And then it recommends some tools. And I was thinking like, damn, if I was a business, I would want ChatGPT to recommend what I do, you know? So I don't know how much manipulation there is, but at least it gave me the name of a couple softwares that then I was able to start Googling and know what I was kind of looking for. So it got it just helped me save a lot of time. So I definitely use it when it comes to writing. I use it for accounting, for legal, to draft up contracts, like just like simple stuff that you might want to do, like, hey, write a letter of intent with this person, write up an email or stuff like that. I definitely use it. But let's just talk about AI more in general. Like I said, I'm not an expert by any means, but for AI is artificial intelligence. So it's like a human brain, but with no limitations. It doesn't forget anything, which is why we can't compete with it, because it just has all the information stored in a data center. So a data center for AI, for like, you know, think of it like a brain. Data centers are like the stuff inside your brain. You store memories in there, but when you're retrieving, a human will forget things. And our data center is not as big. It can't hold as much information. So AI just has all the data that is literally has ever been published. It has some kind of an access to it. If it's on the internet, it most likely has crawled it at some point. So there's no way a human can compete with that level of information. Now, what we have that it doesn't have yet is the creativity. So using that creativity along with the power and the robustness that these tools are starting to get is definitely something that we need to start developing as a skill and start positioning ourselves. So again, going back into I think Landon's question with, you know, how do I position myself? I think the best thing to do with AI at this point is to test it, to try out different things, to not have any boundaries when it comes to what you're trying. You know, like just ask whatever you want to ask, you know, ask it to do this, ask it to do that. Like you'll be surprised on all of what it can do. And see how you can start freeing up some time or building efficiency into your team, into your career, into your job, so that you are more productive, so you get a little bit more done, so you can focus on higher level things. Like us right now, we're going to be transitioning from you know, I need to get the paper and write it down, to I no longer need to write the paper. I need to think of the ideas to feed into this thing and guide it, and the tool will create the paper, and then I'll revise it. Eventually, I think it's going to get to a point where there's not going to be any revisions that you're going to have to do to it. And if you train it well enough, like I've seen some copywriters where they've trained ChatGPT to the point where it'll write like a human. So it's not so robotic. And actually, you can put that into the prompt where it's like, hey, don't make it sound too robotic. Don't make it sound like it's AI generated. You can also ask it like, hey, write a paper that's not plagiarized. So all of that it can do. So definitely it's definitely transformational when it comes to use cases. Definitely I would start looking into it's definitely like very repetitive tasks. Well, very repetitive tasks you want to automate. We did an automation workshop, I think like 2 or 3 ago. We'll probably do another one in the future, but you want to look into automations, but you also want to look into using AI to help you work through whatever you have to do very consecutive, to actually write up contracts, like I said, for researching, for you can actually have it also like scan folders, spreadsheets. I'm going to show you guys a tool where you can feed a whole spreadsheet of data into ChatGPT, and it'll scan that data. So like, for example, I was trying to analyze the other day's patterns in between people that cancel their Young Sharks membership. Because everybody, when they cancel, they tell me, why they're canceling. But I wanted to find patterns. Like, is there a pattern in the timings? Is there a pattern in the rate? And what is a common factor? Or what are people saying in the little messages to me that is like something that stands out. So, but we have quite a lot of data. So I wasn't gonna sit through all of it. And even if I was, not because I was lazy, like I don't mind it, but I'm not going to be able to just process all that data and find a pattern, because we're talking about a lot of names and datas and numbers and stuff that it's just hard to wrap your head around it. But I fed all that into ChatGPT, and it was able to give me, it didn't give me exactly what I wanted, but it gave me what I already knew. But it definitely did the job of what I was trying to do. And actually, I've just upgraded today, so I think maybe now with the upgrade, where now I'm actually paying, it'll probably be a little bit more robust. Proofreading, definitely, like I'll write copies, I'll feed it into it, I'll be like, write a variation of this email, write a variation of this landing page copy, or is there a grammatical error, or translating as well. Like, let's say you have a website and for SEO purposes you wanted to translate it into Spanish, you can just get the page, give it to ChatGPT, translate this into Spanish, translate it into Italian. It can definitely also help with that. There's just so many things that it can do that the only limiting factor is just what we can come up with. So in my case, I'll just show you guys some of the ways I use it. You guys might use it for different things, but hopefully you'll get some inspiration. And later on, we can maybe go into some of the tools that you guys are using, some of the examples you have. But let's just go into the actual tools. Definitely, let's start with ChatGPT. These are just some of the few that I use. So I use ChatGPT, I use Bard, which is created by Google. It's the same thing as ChatGPT. But the thing with it is, so a limitation with ChatGPT is that the data that it has is only up to 2021. So what ChatGPT did is, when they were developing it, basically they just stole all the data that was on Google. So like their system just started going over the internet and kind of analyzing all the data that's out there, reading your websites, reading your landing pages, reading this, reading that, all the information that's public out there. It started putting all of that info, and then they started working, I guess, with the algorithm and the coding behind, the ChatGPT program, and the actual AI coding, which that stuff is complicated, where they started teaching it how to read this data, how to use this data. Don't ask me how they did that. I just know that it does it. They lost me with some of that stuff. Like, I know what coding is, but when it comes to like AI, I can't, it's just, I don't know. It's just crazy. It's just crazy that a machine can literally like think. But ChatGPT has data only up to 2021. So like, let's say you're asking it for facts. Hey, give me 10 facts about turtles. It's only going to give you facts that it knows up to 2021. So Bard is created by Google, and the thing with Bard is that it's updated up to the current day. So it has all the data on Google, because obviously it's created by Google. So it has information that is up to date. Now, when I'm using both, what I found is that definitely ChatGPT, I think, is a lot more robust. I think it's a lot more creative. I think just because of the fact that there's so many millions of people using it, like it's just beating Google with the amount of learning that it's doing from all the users. Because the thing with AI, which is what is scary, is the more we use it, the smarter it keeps getting. So the more you tell it about your business, the more you use it, and you tailor it to your business, to your career, to your job, the smarter it gets, the more it understands you, the better the responses start getting. And imagine that it's doing that with you, but it's doing that with there's like 300, 400 million people using ChatGPT. I don't know how many people use Bard, but I use it to just kind of cross-reference it. I've actually found cases where ChatGPT has given me, I wouldn't say completely false information, but information that if I would have just taken it, it wasn't the complete picture, or it was just not right. I think I was asking it some legal stuff when it came to like LLCs and something. What was I doing? I think it was like, oh, shit. I think I was using it like, if I were to raise capital, how do I give away equity and what, oh, I was asking about C Corps. So for you guys that, like the LLCs or looking into LLCs and stuff. So there's a type of corporation, which an LLC, I think you can turn it into this type of a corporation where it's kind of like a real company that can issue stocks. It's called a C Corp. So for a while, I was looking to maybe raise capital for the young sharks, like get investors. And then I was looking at, okay, how do I actually give them equity? Like what kind of papers do I need to do? How do I do that? I was also looking at, okay, how do I give equity to like employees? Like top people that, if I sign a deal with someone, it's like $10,000. That definitely helps me get forward, or, it helps me raise some money. Maybe I'll, be like, hey, if you, whatever, like I'll just give you a certain percentage of equity or something. So I was trying to figure that part out. So I asked that ChatGPT, and then I asked Bard, and then they gave me two different answers. So using both whenever you're doing research, I think is good, especially if it's something really important to you, where you're not just doing research, like you're actually going to, take what it says and kind of apply it. I would cross-reference it. Parrot AI it's not like a big game changer. It's just one that I use every once in a while. Pretty much what it does is like you can give it a whole video and it'll transcribe it for you. So I've used it in the past. For example, with this recording, I can just get the whole recording, give it to Parrot AI, and it'll transcribe everything that we say. I can copy it and turn it into a blog article if I wanted to. I've used it for example, I'll get a whole sales call, which is like an hour long, and I don't want to sit through the whole sales call. Maybe I have 5 sales calls to analyze from 5 of my reps. You can transcribe all of the 5 sales calls and then copy all that data, feed it into ChatGPT, and tell it, hey, what did person A do different from person B? Or, where did person, what are some things that you find that person B had a good response from the customer, and it can read that data. I've used it for scripting. Like if I'm working on developing a script, I'll record the sales call, I'll put into Parrot AI, it gives me the transcript, I'll copy that, and there goes the sales script. So, that's literally how I got to my current sales script. Was I started analyzing some of the last couple of sales we were having, because we were making some changes. Once we proved the concept, I transcribed it, got the sales script, copied the same thing that I said on the sales call, and then put it into like a pitch deck, and there goes my script. Scribe is pretty cool. I don't know how practical it'll be for all of you guys, but it's just something cool to know that that's out there. I definitely use it. So Scribe, what it does is it'll create guides. So like, let's say that you guys have clients and you want to teach your client, like you have something like onboarding your client, like, hey, you got to complete this form to become my client, where I get all your info, and then you're going to create an account here. Or like, let's say you're doing, like, for the people that do like loans and stuff, they might need to go to this program, apply here, then go there, do this. So with Scribe, you can actually do that once. It'll record your screen, and then it'll turn it into a guide where you can download it as a PDF, send it to your customer, and it'll tell them, go here. When you go to this page, you click here, you click there, then you do this, then you do that. So when it comes to creating SOPs I use it for business, where I'm constantly creating like guides for my team, where hey, this is how you help a customer get on Discord, this is how you fix a nickname on Discord, this is how you log into the website and add a blog article, this is how you post on Instagram, this is how you log into this is how you do that. So I'll use it for creating guides like that. So And then there's a lot of other tools. So let's go into some of them. But so far, do you guys have any questions, any feedback, any thoughts?
Yeah, the second one, Bard, would you say that one was more used for?
Bard, it's like ChatGPT. So you just talk to it. I use it more for like cross-referencing what ChatGPT gives me. Or if I'm not like happy with the answers that I'm getting from ChatGPT, I'll get Bard to kind of get a second opinion, kind of to get a second opinion. So like how you would go to two doctors to make sure that they both diagnose you with the same, well, this is a bad example, with the same cancer, with the same, hey, I have shoulder pain. Oh, you have this problem on your shoulder. You go to two doctors to get an opinion. Okay, it looks like I do have that if two doctors are willing to say it. So I use Bard and ChatGPT for that reason. But let's go over some use cases here with ChatGPT. So pretty much how it works. I think a lot of you guys have already been playing around it. Let's see. I want to find a cool one that I was having. So, all right, check this one out. So I was having a conversation with it. For example, so you give it a prompt and then it'll give you responses. Let me see how this conversation started. As you can see, I talked to it. So I asked something like, hey, how many companies make over 1 billion in revenue? So it's like, as of my knowledge, cut off in September 2021, there were thousands of US companies that generated 1 billion. So then I'm looking at competitors. So I'm like, what are the largest event entertainment companies? Because I was going to like go through some of them, look at some of their numbers. If they're public companies, I was going to look at their like income statements, see what they do, how profitable are they? Because I'm trying to, you see, I'm using this for research to try to understand my business or what it is that I'm doing. Look at my competitors, get ideas. So you see, I'm like, what companies most resemble the YoungSharks.com? The thing with it is, I actually launched my business in 2021, right around the time that it's the cutoff. So, and I don't think I had a website by September 2021. I think I got a website like January or I forgot when, but I don't think it's crawled my website, so it doesn't know about my business. So it's like, hey, I apologize, but I'm not familiar with a website called theyoungsharks.com. That kind of hurt, but it's all good. It's possible that it may be a relatively new or niche platform. So then I told it, the Young Sharks is an organization that provides networking services for young professionals. So I'm like, hey, thank you for the information about the young. So then it gave me like a couple others. Some of them definitely do different things. Some do some familiar stuff. I know YPN is another one that's definitely a competitor. So I was trying to see if it's a public company or a private company. But then it didn't understand what I was asking. But you see, I'm having a conversation with it. So then what I did was, so okay, at this time I was trying to also find out like how much does it cost me for like on a membership, like okay, if I have this many members and I'm spending this much money on expenses, how much does it cost me per member? But you can't just like, it's not that simple as in just getting your expenses and dividing it, because some expenses have to do with acquiring a customer, some expenses have to do with keeping a customer, and then some expenses are just waste or paying myself or something. I some expenses you can count towards it. So I was trying to understand it. So I was asking it if I wanted to know what my cost per subscriber is, do I include marketing and sales expenses or only operational expenses? So then it gave me an answer towards that. So then I was reading an article that said gross margin measures the percentage of revenue that a company retains after accounting for all direct costs associated with making a product or providing a service. This is important because it directly impacts the profitability of your business. Many SaaS companies, if you guys don't know what SaaS is basically like software companies. Businesses have high gross margins of 70 to 80%, which leads to a higher LTV and gives more flexibility on how much can be spent on customer acquisitions. Long story short, we start having this little conversation where I'm trying to analyze if I kind of forgot what I was doing, but So I was trying to compare and understand my business, some of my expenses, to see where was I spending too much money or too little, and how did I compare to some other companies. So it's telling me that software companies have a gross margin of 70 to 80%. So that means that basically when they sell a product, 70 to 80% of that is gross profit. So their cost of goods sold, so the amount of money that costs them to sell the product is only 20%. So let's say you're selling a pencil, there's a cost of goods sold, which is materials to make the pencil. The more pencils you sell, the more materials the more material expenses you're going to incur. So this is one use case. So I was asking, is marketing and advertising a cost per goods sold? So actually, because of this conversation, I changed my QuickBooks. I changed my accounting to basically what I did was like I'm counting commissions as cost of goods sold. Don't worry about it, but this is just see like it's one example where I'm trying to use it to help me work through some things. But this is actually what I really wanted to show you guys. So then I'm asking it like, what books can help me with this topic? Because when you Google, at least I'm like a sucker for trying to find like, okay, what is the one book that I should read? Because there's like 10 books that say the same. Which one is the right one for me? So like I'll actually ask ChatGPT like, okay, hey, what is this book about? What is that book about? Or like, hey, if I want to learn how to start a creative business, what is the right book for me? And then it'll give you 10 options. Realistically, you're not going to read all 10 books. So then I'll be like, okay, which of those 10 would you recommend if I am, and then you talk to it depending on what you need. So I was like, what are the best books to help me run my subscription business and understand my subscription business KPIs and profitability? So this is something that I'm struggling with right now, which is how do I make the Young Sharks more profitable? And how do I understand some of the key data in the business to help me run it more efficiently and more profitable? So I'm looking at books for that. And actually, if you guys know one, I'll take the recommendation. So it actually gave me 8 books. I want to say that I think I read like 2 or 3 of these. I took a Sunday where I literally read a whole book in one day. I had already done Profit First, which I've recommended to you guys multiple times now. The next one I'm going to do is the Lean Product because I've been getting a lot of recommendations for it. I did this one, The Automatic Customer. I read that page to page. It was a really good book. So then I'm like, hey, if my business charges a monthly or annual subscription for our members to have access to private events, are those costs of those events part of my cost of goods sold? Oh, this is the one that I was telling you guys that it did not give me the right answer. So what I did was I asked the same question over on Bard, and then Bard said, yes, there are cost of goods sold. And then ChatGPT was saying no. Would typically be categorized as operating expenses. So you see, it's like cost of private events would be categorized as operating expenses or event expenses. So it said that it was, and then Bard said that it wasn't. And I think I ended up going with it. I think I forgot. I think I did. I think I did that. It was like I think I made it part of my cost of goods sold. Okay, this is some stuff. There's definitely got numbers in there. Like I'll ask it to do like math calculations for me. Here I'm asking like, hey, what are 10 public companies that offer similar services to my business? It gave me 10, which these are not like they're not like they don't do exactly what we do, but it helps. I was looking at Eventbrite, and actually Eventbrite loses a lot of money, which was surprising, considering what they charge. So, all right, that's one. Let's see. Here I'm talking more books. You see, I'm like, hey, best books on increasing profitability for a subscription business. It gave me 10. Then I'm like, which of those is most like Profit First, which is one that I read that I've applied. So then it gave me actually it started telling me more about Profit First. So I had to reword what I was saying so that it would understand what I was like trying to get at. Then it recommended the Automatic Customer. I recommended this one. I think I found this book on Google. It's called The Pricing Journey. So I was trying to see, okay, should I buy this one? It sounds like, I was looking at pricing as well, like, am I pricing the product correctly? So I was looking for books into that as well. So I found this one and I wanted to learn a little bit more about it. So I'm like, hey, tell me more about this book. So then it tells me a little snippet about that book. So then I was like, which of the books you recommended earlier will help me figure out how to understand my subscription business, KPIs to look for, and profitability, which is similar to another question I did. But that's one scenario where I'm using it for books. I even use it for music, where I'm like, hey, what other songs are out there similar to the lyrics of this song or similar to the topics of this one? I'm big into music and I like the lyrics, so I like songs that have some kind of philosophy on it. Don't ask me why, I just like it. So like I'll get one song that I really enjoy and I'm like, hey, what are 10 other songs like this one that have the same context or the same what you call it, like lyrical content. So actually the other day I was updating like my terms of service for my website. So I asked it to I asked it to do it for me. So here it is, it did it for me. Then I changed some stuff, but it's helping me work through some of the terms. So I'm basically telling it like, hey, this is what I wanted, this is what I wanted to do, and I want to be protected when it comes to this. And then it'll write it in like lawyerly terms. I don't think it's a replacement for a lawyer, but look, sometimes, if you're waiting to just sign on a client or something like that, and all the standing in the way is just a little contract, shit, just get it done over here, or at least have it do some kind of a template, and then when you have some funds, talk to a lawyer and then do the real thing. It's definitely not a replacement for a lawyer. Let's see, what other things do I have in here? Contracts would be basically, let's do a new chat. Let's do a new one. All right. So this is how I also use it. Write 5 captions for an Instagram post promoting the next Young Shark events in Tampa, called Great Gatsby Networking Party. So then you do that and it'll give you 5 captions. Now, the thing with having it write for you is you want to look at your copies and try to make it more human. You also, the more specific you are with the prompts. So when it comes to these AI tools, it's all about the prompt. The more specific you are, the more info you give it, the better it's going to give you what you're asking for. So whatever's in your head, you need to put it in here. So what I'll do sometimes, if it's way too much information, is, at least if you're on a Windows computer, I know Apple does it, but I don't know what the shortcut is. If you press the Windows key and the letter H, it'll do voice to text. So I'll write my my prompt, I'll just verbally give it to it instead of having to write out a whole paragraph. So you see, it's all in there. So let's do another one. Write 3 Facebook ads that are no longer than 500 characters promoting an e-commerce product. Actually, let's do a case specific for one of you guys. Liliana, is it okay if I use you as an example? That's fine? All right. So, all right, let's say you were to want to run, let's say, a LinkedIn post. I think that's going to be a little bit more practical. Write a LinkedIn post that is no longer than 500 characters talking about my company called Positivity, which specializes in doing small loans to people in Kenya to help them get started with their business, other things that they might need, and my target audience is potential investors who want to get really high returns on their investments while also doing something good. Let's see what it says about that. I hope I got that right, Liana.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. All right, so it says, looking for an investment with powerful impact, join Positivity. We're fueling entrepreneurial dreams in Kenya through microloans. You see, like it knew, I didn't give it the microloan word, and it knew what I was talking about. Our strategic approach delivers high returns, driving both financial growth and socioeconomic change. Together, let's create profits with purpose. So now, all right, that sounds a lot like ChatGPT. So let's start working with that. Now rewrite it so that it does not use very big words and it's more how would you put it, like generic, and the concept is more straightforward. Want to make money while doing good? You can't make it easier than that. You can't make it easier. It went from looking for an investment with a powerful impact to, hey, you want to make money while doing good?
Right. Oh my God.
Funny.
I did that once with ChatGPT. I just copied the whole website. I said, dumb this down in like 2 sentences. It's like, it basically said the same thing. It was so funny.
Let's see, what else could we do with it? Okay, now let's say you wanted to do let's say you wanted to do Facebook ads. Let's say now write a Facebook ad instead of a LinkedIn post, and make the copy a little longer. And this is actually something I've never tried, which is telling it to write more emotionally, specifically targeting investors with smaller budgets who feel like they've been left out of investment opportunities. All right, let's see what it says.
That's good.
You ever dream of making a difference while growing your savings? Meet Positivity. We're not just making money, we're about changing lives too. We believe that everyone, including you, has the power to create an impact no matter the size of your investment. We specialize in giving small loans to hardworking Kenyan entrepreneurs. These loans, often overlooked by larger corporations, are life-changing for them. Damn, this is pretty convincing. They help kickstart businesses, foster creativity, and ignite hope for a better future. Investing with Positivity isn't just about high returns, it's about empowering dreams and changing lives. And the best part, you don't need a large budget to make a difference. Even the smallest investments can have a huge impact. Feel included, feel empowered, and take part in a journey of growth and impact. You're not just an investor, you're a change maker. Join us, let's make a positive change together. I think that's a pretty solid foundation for like an ad. Like
That's great.
It's yeah.
I'm gonna use that.
Me personally, if I was going to run an ad on this, I would just change some things, like let's see, empowering dreams and changing lives. You don't need a large budget to make a difference. No matter the size of your investment. That was a part where I didn't like. They help kickstart business. Yeah, like they help kickstart businesses, foster creativity, and ignite hope for a better future. I would maybe do something else, but at least it gives you a start. Now you can, do something like, now give me another ad with the same concept, but different words. And it just doesn't run out of ideas. Like, this is why we can't compete with it, because it'll write stuff in here as long as you're giving it prompts. So there goes another ad. So a lot of the times what I'll do is I'll give it one of my ads, and then I have it, rewrite it or help me find variations, or, I know what I want. I write it out myself first, and then I'm like, hey, find 3 variations or 5 variations of this copy that I'm giving you. If you were going to, let's see, if I were to for Lakeisha, if I were to work on this for like if I were to use this for like help me write a book or course, I would take it like chapter by chapter. And if you feel like you don't know what are some things that you might want to talk about, like what you know, but you maybe can't think of like what should I talk about in this chapter. Like let's say your first chapter is going to be about the importance of fitness and health. So I would do something like, hey, what are 10 fears or worries people have when it comes to fitness or health in general. I will use this to create the first chapter of my course. I am a fitness trainer. I hope my ChatGPT doesn't think that this is me and then starts messing up all my other stuff. I'm a fitness trainer and I focus on helping people get in shape and improve their health. I hope I'm getting this right as well. All right, so let's see what it says. All right, so people have a fear of injury, fear of failure, fear of judgment, concerns about time management, fear of commitment, worries about physical discomfort, nutrition confusion, uncertainty about the right exercise, worry about age or health conditions, fear of regression. Those are actually really good, like real fears that people have when it comes to doing anything with fitness. Especially someone older might be afraid of injury. Some people they might not be afraid of failing, but they don't think that they're going to be successful. So maybe now you have an idea of what you want to overcome, and you want to address these things. Like right when the course is starting, you can be like, hey, this is why this course that I'm putting together for you is going to prevent you from getting an injury. Is something that anybody can accomplish as long as they dedicate this many hours a week. This is something you can do in your house so that nobody can just judge you. So you can address this like in a video, they say, and then you just take this as inspiration. So now let's use Bard for the same thing. So like, let's say you come to Bard and then you write the same prompt. And then give you 10 fears or worries. So it's like, I'm not strong enough, I'll get injured. I like how they're making it like something that people would actually say. I'm not motivated, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I'll be too sore, I'll look stupid. Now actually put that, I'll never be able to stick with it. I'm afraid of failure. You see, like, so you see some of the things overlap what ChatGPT said, but here you actually look at, for example, I'll be too sore or I'll look stupid. Maybe you don't want to address that word, but that's something that maybe you could even do. You could address it or something. So I would use it like that. Then let's say you're writing a chapter on this. Maybe you already. I would start myself by writing it, and then I'll feed the chapter or like a lesson into ChatGPT and Bard, and just be like, hey, improve this or make this better. So, because what you don't want to do is like, hey, write a book for me and you copy and paste it, because this is not your information. This is stuff that it's pulling from the internet. So this could be plagiarized. So, yes, it's powerful and it's very easy to just come in here and be like, hey, write my essay, but ethically, I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think you should always have some kind of authenticity for with your job, with your clients. I would use it as a tool, not as like a complete replacement. So, you can't, at least not right now, you can't replace that human aspect of things, that emotion, that connection. And just, I don't know, I think being authentic is important. So I wouldn't just, hey, write a chapter and then you just copy it and put it into something. And you could do it. So like, for example, people are doing that with YouTube videos where they're just, getting the whole thing, and then their job is just kind of putting the pieces together. I think that's all right, but I think it's always good to just have some authenticity, especially if you're working with clients. Let's see, what were some other uses that people wanted to do? Landing pages, email templates. So here's another cool thing. Let's say you already have an email and you don't want to turn it into a template, change all the little words to put name instead of the name of the person. You can just copy the email, put it in here, be like, turn this into a template. In this case, I don't have an email to just put in here. So let's just say, write an email template for a welcome email into, actually, let me do one that I need. So write a welcome email to be sent to people after they purchase a subscription into my business, which is called Young Sharks. Just a generic one. So then it'll write the email. This is something I actually need. I already have it, but I wrote it myself. But you see, like, it's doing something about Great Gatsby. So you see, like, it learns, because I didn't tell it anything about Great Gatsby networking party for this prompt. I told it earlier. So it learns, it picks up on what you use. But here goes an email. You can be like, now don't rewrite it so it does not talk about specific upcoming events. I wouldn't want that, because next week this would not be practical anymore after that event is done. And then it'll rewrite it. What you guys think?
I love it. It's definitely given me some ideas more on the creative side, especially when you had it right, like the number one issues or problems people have when it comes to working out, so far as like doing creative reels and things. I usually have a lot of ideas and a lot of information, kind of like AI that runs through my head. So with me, it's about kind of putting the structure and things together of what people need in the present day right now. But it also definitely helps with, like I said, with creating um, Twitter posts or a social media posts. One
Yeah.
thing I would love to do more with it is about writing like business grants or business loans or writing business
Yeah.
proposals.
Yeah, we can do that actually. And actually what I would do in that case is, if you have like, if you know the grant that you're applying and they give you like a prompt, like they say that, how a lot of times they're like, hey, write a little bit more about your business, or if they give you specifications, I would copy that and then I would put it in there, and I would be very specific. Something like that is very important. I would be very specific, like, hey, write it this way with this tone for this audience. Don't use words like that. And then you like revise it a couple of times. Like, once you write it out, hey, now do this, change that, change this, until you get to a final thing where it's useful. Sometimes, like, I'll also put in like the actual, like, let's say you're writing a thing for a grant, right? And you want to talk about where your business is, you want to talk about real numbers, real things. Like, I'll make a really long post, like a really long prompt where I'm like, hey, write a grant letter for about my business, and include so and so data in there, and then I'll give it the data, like, hey, this is how much revenue I'm bringing, This is how many clients I have. This is where I'm going. This is what my mission statement is. This is what my goals are. This is how long I've been operational. I'll give it all my real data so that it uses it and turns it into, a very practical, what it gives me in return is something that is actually very practical. Even when I'm doing the contracts, I'll give the terms. So like, for example, whenever I had like little partnerships with some people within the Young Sharks, for example, well, I'll trade services with them and we came to an agreement. I don't need to do like a super complicated thing. It's just simple contract. This is what I'll do for you. That's what you're going to do for me. So I'll come in here. I'll put exactly what we said, just like, hey, we agreed that I was going to do this, this, and this. That person's going to do this, this, and this. Turn this into a contract now, and then it'll write it into a contract. As long as you give it the data, it can get it done to the point where it's just copy paste. And then you just change something if you want to make it more authentic. But yeah.
Now, do you know if it's actually programming? Let's take example. I want to create an app, right?
You can do programming with this stuff as well. I actually haven't gone into it. There's actually I was looking at some tools last week that they'll create an app for you. I'm a little scared to devote time into it because I don't know how easy, some things look easy, but then turn out to be difficult. But I had that thought was like, shit, can I code my own app and just tell ChatGPT to code it and do this? It might be something to look into. I've definitely asked the question before on ChatGPT, like, hey, what do I need in order to get my app published on the App Store? Is it complicated? What are the paperwork? What should I be working on? So let's say you want to work on business credit and you don't really know, like, let's say you don't know someone like Steven and you just go in there like, hey, if I want to build business credit, what should I be looking at? Or what should I read? What books are about that? What registrations should I use and stuff? It's not a replacement for someone like Steven, right? Right, Steven? That's kind of what you do. It's not a replacement, right? But it can at least get you started. So that's another one. This is actually a funny example. So I have a dog. I've never had a dog before. This is my first one. And then we noticed that it's a puppy, and we noticed that it was breathing really fast when it was sleeping. And I didn't know if that was normal or not. So something that, let's say I actually wanted to go to the vet for something like that. But the vet, you would have to schedule an appointment, you have to take it to the vet, and it's going to cost you money. So I actually just went in there and I'm like, hey, why does my Shih Tzu breathe really fast when she's resting? And then it gives me a couple of reasons like overheating, anxiety or stress, pain or illness, excitement. I'm like, is it normal for my dog to pant while resting in a non-stressful and cool weather? So I didn't even know what panting was in dogs. So I didn't know that they actually pant in order to regulate their temperature. So that you see, I'm learning something from the comfort. Now they have it on the phone, so you can get ChatGPT on your phone. So if you have a question, sometimes instead of putting it on Google, I'll just put it in there, hey, is this normal? Or what is panting? So, and it explains it to you. So instead of me going on Google and trying to, research what panting is and read an article, I just come in here, ask it, and then it just gives me exactly what I'm looking for. A short explanation of what it is. And then I'm like, is it normal for dogs to continuously pant while trying to sleep? It's not necessarily normal. So then I started getting a little bit worried. And then we actually asked the vet and she said that it was okay. It was kind of normal for puppies to have a little bit of a higher heart rate, but that's another use case. Anyways, any more questions when it comes to ChatGPT? Any specific examples that you would want me to go over? Any other? Fernando, Landon, Liliana, Steven? Before we move on, some other tools. Well, all right, we can always come back to it. So that's ChatGPT. BART is about the same concept. There's a couple other tools I got in here. So this is Parrot AI, just to kind of show you guys an actual real example of how I've used it. So pretty much I gave it a video that was an hour long. It's a sales call. one of my sales reps, you know, she was just talking to a potential member, and then I don't know why I was trying to transcribe it, but you know, it just does the whole transcribing. So pretty much, you know, this is, you know, what she said at the beginning, what the person responded. It's not completely perfect, but it does give you something to get started with. You know, you can maybe get creative with this. Like I said, I've used it to create scripts. I've used it to kind of get maybe like subtitles, although there's tools out there that will create subtitles for a video. We're gonna go over some of those as well. But this is Parrot AI. They do some other stuff. I haven't really put a whole lot more time into it, but like they'll do like summaries of your video where it'll just tell you kind of like what it is about, what was said on the video. Let's see over here. This was a podcast episode that I put into it, and then it gave me a summary, and then pretty sure it gave me the transcription. This also has its own like ChatGPT powered tool, like little chat thing where it helps you. Let's see. This notes, recording inbox, meeting calendar. So like I think what they do a lot is also like if you need to transcribe your meetings, like for example, let's say you're in a regulated industry and you need to take like meeting notes or notes during meetings. You can connect Parrot AI to your Zoom calls and it'll take notes during the Zoom call of what it thinks it was important, or it could transcribe the whole Zoom call. So like if you connect it, I think it'll join your Zoom call. Like let's say Parrot AI will be here on the Zoom call and then it'll be taking notes. So let's say you're meeting with someone and you're talking about something practical and you are afraid that you might forget what was said, or you know how a lot of the times we forget stuff that you know, hey, I told this person I was going to work on this, and this, and 3 days later you got a lot more work to do and you forgot exactly what you spoke about on last week's meeting with someone. So you could use it to maybe help you with that. I don't personally do it. I've used it more for like scripting stuff. I think when I looked into it, I was trying to find a tool that would create like out of a long video, it would create smaller scripts for me to then go ahead and tell my video editor, like these are the parts of the video that I want to edit to make a little reel. But it didn't really work out that great into it, and I didn't really put that much effort. But Parrot AI, that's just another tool. This one here, it creates images, I think, from words. This is also powered by the same company that does ChatGPT, which is OpenAI. I've never used it. This will be the first time I'm going to use it, but I'm actually kind of curious to see what it can do. So I'm going to just do a live test. So something that comes to
This one?
Yeah, have you used it?
No, I use different ones, but what's the name of this one you pulled up?
This is called DALL-E, kind of like Wall-E, but it's called DALL-E.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, so if you go to openai.com, this is the company that makes ChatGPT. And then if you go to log in, when you have an account, it's free too. It gives you like, there's really two tools, which is ChatGPT and DALL-E, and then the API just has more stuff to connect and stuff like that for developers. But it's this one, the DALL-E. I guess DALL-E, like, oh, I see why they call it that. I guess it's from Salvador Dali. So, what I can think of using this for is to like create posts. So I would say create an Instagram post. Let's see if we can do this. Post for a company that does networking events for young professionals. So that's how you're efficient. You're out of credits. Oh shit, I guess I need to buy credits. How much are credits? Down 15 bucks? Dang. Okay, we'll do this some other day. Damn, I actually wanted to try this. But there's another one that I also saw, which is Ad Creative. I was trying to sign up. I recommended this one too. I think on one of the calls that you brought on, Lakeisha, and I never actually got around to trying it. But let me see if I sign up for this trial. Let me do this real quick. But which ones do you use, Lakeisha? What tools are you using right now? Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm on my phone. Is Dream. It's an app I downloaded on my phone, so I just kind of plug in some words. You can also put in like an image as well too, and it'll alter the image or give you different alterations to that. Like let's say, for example, I take a picture of myself. I can download it into that app, and then I can put in some words just like you do with Chat GPT of like, let's say I want to have a pyramid Egyptian queen background. It'll generate different images with my face in there. And then there are different um, types of categories you can use. Like you can make it like futuristic, you can make it a reality type art, you can make it abstract. It has a lot of different stuff in there. But I use it a lot to make like icons, logos, thumbnails. My son has a YouTube channel, so I do it a lot for like his channel as well too. But it's a cool one that I love to use. So
Nice. Okay. Right, so let's do this one together. Let's do Ad Creative. Shirts. I've never used this one either. So some of this stuff I'm actually trying out. Brand description. There you go, you see? You already knows what I do. Brand logo, advanced setup, meta ads. Oh crap, you can actually connect it to your ads. But I'm sure this is also practical when it comes to creating content. Let's see. So now what? Create brand. So this is Ad Creative. I've seen ads about this one because I think they help you like create ads. Like let's say you actually wanted to try to run a Facebook ad or I would go Facebook ads. You can try getting it to, I guess, create the ad for you. So let's see. Okay, the size. Okay, display and programmatic advertising sizes. Oh, this is for Google display ads. That's cool. And then project description, target audience. Cool. Okay, this is easy. All right, let's do this. So let's say we were gonna do a post. Project description. Okay, target audience, small business owners, and young professionals. Save and continue, text and buttons. Post. Write an appealing headline description for your creative or use text AI button. Let's give it a try. Let's do it in English. Let's see how good it is. Oh, damn, you see, like it's already creating the ad. Call to action icon. Network now. Unleash your professional potential. Build your professional network today. Network now. Those are really crappy, but it gets the boat. It gets it going. Let's say we were to put a background photo. Let's put this one. All right. Hey, that's an ad. I'll use that. Generate with several backgrounds. All right, create a post. Save project. Save and generate. I'm sure like you can train this, and then if you give it better copies, it'll probably do a better job. Or if you feed it like an ad and you're like, hey, make a variation of this one, or take this concept and make it look nicer. Or like, let's say you wanted to, I guess you could use tools like this as well for, and probably especially something like what Lakeisha was using. Like if you want to do something visual for a client where you wanted to do something cool for them, or an infographic. I'm actually going to show you guys auto draw. This is another one that I saw. Actually, I saw it on Instagram. People recommend it. I also want to try it. Oh, it doesn't let me download it. Okay, but that was cool. Where did it go? For to download. Packages I created, so creative text projects. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Oh, damn, it actually does a lot of them. Oh, crap. Build your professional network today. Build your professional network today. Unleash your professional potential. It actually does a lot of different ads. This is pretty cool. Oh. What do you guys think about this one?
I like that it already generates so many different options for you because I use Canva a lot. I would actually go in there. Let's take example, you like one, but you don't like the color of it that's being used in there, right? I wonder if you can change that.
All right, let's say we didn't like the color in this one. Let's say edit. You could change the text. Let's say you like the design and you actually want to do a better text on it. You could change the image. Okay, let's say maybe we wanted to change the image. Let's maybe go for something like this. Okay, save and render. It'll probably let you change the font. So you put your brand, choose a logo, color select. But even then, you can download this and then put it in Canva and select that. Let's say you want to change the blue around it. You can go in there and let's skip this one. At least I know how to use Photoshop, so I would just let's say I didn't like the blue, I would just download it and then make that change on Photoshop. But it just gives you the idea. I think that's what the power really is that let's say you want to actually get a real designer to do something for you. This will give them a lot of potential ideas of what to work with. And now you know, okay, this is a good size copy. I don't think this is a good headline, build your professional network today. I don't think it's terrible, but I would maybe want to change the headline to something more powerful that I can come up with. So, but at least like I have an idea of the design and the sizing and the positioning. I know that, hey, this picture might be working really good. This is actually pretty cool.
Do video ads or is it just still shots?
Yeah, I was going there, so I wonder if they can do video. Let's say generate, add package, add creative, social creative. Let's say add creative, both sides, vertical, half page. Kind of do. I'm not sure if it can. Let's look it up. And add creative, do videos. If you want to get a video from your images, go to add creative section, select create video. Your format is carousel. I know this is from Facebook. Yes, you heard that right. If you do not give any videos to the campaign, it is going to auto-generate videos using your creative and text. I guess it can. The real question is how. Maybe I need to upgrade.
When you went to the upload, you selected an image last time. Can you select a video instead?
That is a good thing to try. You see, they're not letting me go back. That's smart. That is smart. Don't let people get out of the payment. Crap, it's really not letting me get out of the payment. Yeah, in the account. Assist. How do I log in? Oh, it's how can I create a API?
If not, that would be, well, I'm definitely gonna look into that. That would be cool to find an AI tool that would create like a video for you. Let's take example, you have a clothing brand that you want to advertise on YouTube and you want to have that video out there.
So I actually saw a post on Instagram, which is why I upgraded into this stuff. I just couldn't figure it out in time to get this going, but there's a plugin on ChatGPT that does create a video for you. Create videos with Vislet's ChatGPT plugin. Get started for free. Maybe I need to sign up for this stuff as well. God damn it. I have so many software. I had to create an account specifically for like softwares. Let's create new item. Here the password.
That's what, like a commercial?
Huh?
Vizsla, are you using that to like a commercial?
So I'm trying to see if I can create a video ad. Or like a video in general. Actually, I'm more interested because this is something I actually need, which is like getting the videos that I already have and adding words into it. Because a lot of my videos, they're just like videos of events, and I want to add like ad copies into it to test to see if that works better than videos with no words. Because you guys know I use a lot of Facebook ads and stuff like that. So for me, ads are very important. Oh, this is the password. It's 18 43 55. Guys, feel free to chime in at any time if you want me to try something or if you have any ideas.
Well, I know you, so you said you just want to add words, right? To your videos?
Yeah.
I already use CapCut. I think one of the sharks already mentioned that and recommended that.
Question?
CapCut. If you download your videos in there, you can add words to your video.
But do you manually have to add the words, or like I'm looking for something where I give it 20 headlines, I give it 20 videos, and it gives me like 50 ads. Kind of like how Ad Creative created all those variations of images. I would want to do the same with the video. So let's actually do.
I know it has caption. You can turn on the caption. So like example, if you already have a video and you use just record whatever you want to put in there, you can upload your voice, the voice audio as well too, and it'll turn on the caption. But this that you're using, because I'm popping up an idea because I've always wanted to create like a commercial for my brand. Let's take example, I record a bunch of videos and I want to compile it together. Is it going to come up with like its own commercial style for me if I give it specific words?
You try it. Let me see if I can do a video. Let's see if I can do a video. Steven, what you think?
No, I'm digging. I'm kind of curious how this works out because that's something I've always thought about too, is using AI to create videos. You know, different. I got the landing pages, I got some stills, I got some ads I've created using ChatGPT, but I've always wanted to dabble into the video side of things. So
now it's a mission. Now we got to do it.
Yeah, that would definitely free up a lot of my time. I spend a lot of time doing manually editing videos and stuff. There's a way to kind of do it to free up more time. I would love that.
right. Yeah, I got some clients I've worked with that are either real estate agents or investors, and they spend a lot of time creating videos themselves. Like, man, I don't got time for all that. You know, or if I did have the time, I don't want to waste it creating videos.
Let's say this is my video.
Yo, what up?
Okay, let's see. Well, I do have some video tools that I'm gonna show you guys that I saw that some people from the group recommended. Andre said that he uses one of them to turn like long form video into like short form. I saw this as well that I want to try, but I want to see this ad creative to see if it allows videos. Yeah, I don't think it does. It's not popping it. Yeah, I don't think it does. I don't think it does video. Or maybe I'm just not, maybe I need to upgrade or something like that. But let's keep going. Let's find some other ones.
I'm gonna but that'd be awesome to create like a Nike or Adidas type commercial.
Yeah, that would be cool. All right, let's try this one. So choose what you would like to start with. Video with voice. Idea. Describe the video you want to create. Drag and drop video clips containing English speech. Let's just say we use this one. Let's say we use this. Processing clip. While it does that, or there's these two tools that two of our members recommended them when it comes to like doing like a long video like this. So like for example, today's workshop is like an hour long or so. You can feed it into this, and apparently it can cut it into smaller videos. Please select 3 or more templates to move ahead.
So will it make it like a reel for you, for like social media, for example?
Right, I think that's what it's supposed to do. I haven't personally tried it. I'm trying this one as well. But I have some members that said they have tried it.
And this is what, Vizsla?
No, this one is called Video. Like VI. This is Leslie recommended this one. Save my preferences, go to dashboard, review clips. Let's see if it did. We've generated your videos. Let's go. The power of why. Oh, if it does this,
Your why. I think everybody has a why, like, especially like motivated people that want to chase something, get something.
Yeah.
You know, we all have a why. Would you say that's your why? That's one of the whys, I would say. It's one driving factor. The other driving factor was that I lived through hyperinflation. Everyone's complaining right now in the US, it's like inflation. I'm like, no, Yeah, I haven't seen inflation. What I mean by inflation is that
Yo, that's not bad. I don't know if, I think at this point of the, I don't know if it, I had a problem with the camera where it was only recording me, but I wish it would focus on the guy, but I think the premise of the video is actually pretty good. I made a millionaire, my why.
they usually share that trait. Like cause I myself, like my why, and I will say this, I wanna have a big company, and the reason I wanna have a big company is because I want
Shit, I'll
anyone,
use that.
my family members, if they need an opportunity, I don't like $10, but if they need an opportunity, I wanna be like, here's a job and you can work, right? And I can
I think this is pretty good. It'll definitely cut down on like having to edit. Like, I don't like the headline. I think that doesn't make sense, but it might let you edit the video.
So all that is just from one video, right?
Yeah, so I did a podcast for a little while. I was doing a podcast. Had to stop doing it because I didn't have the time and I wasn't doing it the way I wanted to either. But I did do like 4 episodes. So like just for today's example, I gave it one of those episodes. And it turned an hour into all of these little videos that you see.
I like that.
And then I guess I can look into this. My why. Maybe I would just call it this. The power of your why or something. I don't know. Crap, this is really cool. Because then you know what you can do is like you can get a VA to just kind of help you with this. And instead of spending $3,000, you can get this little video, put it on Parrot AI, get the transcript, put it on ChatGPT, and ask it what's a good headline for this video. If right now I don't know.
Now you're getting serious.
Yeah, you know, like my why or something. So and that is something that you can actually put into like a scribe guide, and I'm gonna show you guys, and just give it to a VA or someone that works with you. Like at least I have someone that I can definitely get on this. So I think it's pretty solid, and then you can just always get the approve it or not. But I think it does what I would want it to do. From the 2 examples that I've seen, I think it got a pretty good, and that was not even a good podcast. Like it was a good podcast, but it's not the type of podcast episode that you would really be able to find a lot of clips, because a lot of it, he was just talking about his story and what he's doing. And I was just talking a little bit, just asking him questions. So there wasn't like a lot of potential for getting, you know, like controversial or, you know, highlights where you say something powerful. So the fact that it found that one and it makes sense, I like it. Let's see. How do we go back? Elevating the sacrifices of success.
there's a lot of things that, and I'm noticing that there's a lot of things that you need to give up and sacrifice on, you know. And I'm not a big.
The fact that it has the captions on it as well is crazy.
I'll be honest with you.
With the color coded thing.
We just can't, if you're not on the same boat, on the same path as I am,
Yeah.
you're completely out. Yeah. Whether, you know, if you need, like I said, if you need my help, it'll always be there. If you need an opportunity, it'll always be there. But
Wow, that's good.
So, you know, one thing that I noticed with the sound as well, because I think this is perfect. The only thing I use it now, Adobe just put out, and I think it's a beta right now. It's called Enhanced Speech from Adobe, and it's an AI tool. What it does is it takes your sound and it takes out all the noise. It tweaks your pitch. It does everything for you for podcasting.
Yeah, because you know what? I recorded this with my iPhone. So like the audio is actually, the video, the footage is actually pretty good because the iPhone cinematic is actually really, really pretty good quality. So I just literally recorded this whole podcast thing with my iPhone. So the audio definitely sucks. So had I had a mic, you know, I could probably do a lot better. But even this, I'm recording on my iPhone. So like then
Yeah.
the iPhone, the video that will come out of this Zoom sucks, like because it's my webcam. But then my iPhone is actually sitting on a tripod right behind my computer, and it has the cinematic mode on. So it records it in really high quality. So later on, what I do is I switch out the video. So I take out this crappy Zoom, put in the good one, or use that one to cut it up into like reels like this, or in the future. I haven't done it yet because I didn't know how to go about it, and I didn't want to spend $1,000 a month getting people to just edit the video. I would pay for it. I think it's valuable. It's just I'm not in the position to do that right this minute.
Well, I do the same thing. I have an iPhone. The video is great quality. Like you said, if you don't have a microphone, it picks up all the noise in the room. The enhanced speech is free right now. I just tried it. You can download like 3 hours of audio, and it tweaks everything out for you. And then you can add it right back into your video there. And then you have a perfectly crisp podcast without having to have a microphone all the time.
I gotta look into that as well. Gotta look into that. Cool, man. This is some practical stuff. This is another one that another member recommended. So video, Leslie recommended it. This one, Opus Clip, Andre recommended it. So I gave it the same video. So I'm actually curious to see kind of like what it came up with.
I think everybody has a wide, especially more than people.
Crap, both of them got this one. I guess that's the best part of the podcast. Elevating family and country, the power of lifting others up.
I need to be in a position, put myself in a position where
Because I haven't met Mehul, he's one of our members. He's really smart.
Why ultimately is this up?
He's doing his business called Exchange. It's like a trading platform. Well, not a trading platform, it's a brick and mortar building where people will be able to trade together, kind of like get an office, be around people that trade and stuff. But it's gonna have like a barbershop, bar, it's big stuff. He's got a big project on his hands. Unlocking success, the power of vision, equity, and collaboration.
Good equity stake and give the option to take away equity, they're most likely going to see the vision and point. You have to give them a piece of your baby, but at the same time is.
Oh, this one even gives you like an explanation of why it thinks it's good.
You can take that.
God damn. This is actually, what do you guys think? I think this is impressive.
Yeah, I love this. I think this is something that you've been looking for. And it just from that one video alone, like look at all the content you've already created, right? And like I said, the only thing you got to tweak is just the audio piece of it. And then you can download that on YouTube, your social media, even if you decide you want to do like Anchor or what is the other one? Spotify. Like you can download all this stuff for podcasts. And that's one thing that a lot of people are getting into as well too. It's doing the words for you, which a lot of people either love the audio or just being able to see the words if they're on the go. They can watch it, they can listen to it as a podcast. I think this works perfect.
Right. This definitely does great when you have a long video, like a webinar that you did, and you want to turn it into smaller content. All right, let's see what this one came up with. Refine video. What are we doing here? Auto cut. I don't know. Let's see. Refine video.
Yo, what up? What's up? Where we at? Come on.
Really cool. I had a couple of drinks that day. I don't know what this is doing. Scene one. I don't know. Maybe you can play around with this one. This one like a video editor? I don't know about this one. I know I saw a post on Instagram that they were using this as a plugin on ChatGPT. They gave ChatGPT 2 prompts, and basically that's another thing that's actually powerful is you can connect ChatGPT to other tools. And Lakeisha, we went over that when we did the automations workshop. But you can integrate it with other tools so that it actually does the task for you. So if you connect it to Vizsla, I think you can ask it like, hey, create a video that says this or this and uses this and this content. And it'll actually go ahead and do it. So I saw a post that did that, but I can't figure out how to get the plugin to work over there on ChatGPT. I don't know. I will have to look into it later. Maybe do a little video tutorial on it. Actually, this is not an AI tool, but I actually want to show you guys because I use this a lot. You might have even heard of it. Have you guys heard of Loom?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't used it yet though.
So Loom, it's actually pretty good because let's say you have a client and you need to show that client how to do something. And it's just like you can't find a way to explain it, or it will be like 300 massive, like it will be too long of an explanation. With Loom, you can actually create a video where like it's capturing your screen and it's capturing your camera. Or you could just do screen only or screen and camera. So like I use it a lot to do tutorials for people that are for my team. So I've been building hours of Loom, like how to shit everything. We're systemizing everything. So it'll record the screen and have the camera. So this I really recommend for saving on like meeting times. If you have something that your clients or your job, like you need to teach people constantly how to do this thing, and you always need to be getting on meetings with them to just kind of do it, or get a phone call, yo, this is where you click, this is what you do. You can just create one video, and then they give you a link that you can then just copy and send it to your customers and stuff. So another good tool. Visla, we gotta do another follow-up on this later on to see like, hey, did we actually apply this? I wish I would have been able to try that one. All right, the other one was auto draw. I think this one, what it does is you can draw and then it'll make a professional drawing out of it. Like let's say I do a person.
Don't let me get a hold of this one.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's kind of what you're looking for, right?
Yeah, that is exactly what I'm looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, I need select. So now how do you turn it into? How do you turn it into something now? You put shapes on it. Okay, so now what do you do now? How to? Gotta be some kind of a button or something that makes it go through.
What is that? That the pencil with like the magic.
So that is just a draw. I mean, Fernando, what's up? Do you have any questions? How are you feeling about this?
think I'm really interested in this auto draw thing.
How to get auto draws?
Looks like they keep coming up with more and more new AI I guess based tools. Some that I wasn't even aware of, but it's pretty cool.
Sure. 5. Start doodling and the auto draw suggestion tool start guessing. Oh, okay, let's see. Okay. Okay, draw a solo with the draw tool. Choose the colors, make shapes. What does this one do? Add color to the fill tool. Move and resize. Share. You need to share your work. And do it from any device. And so, what if I just do? Where's the suggestions? Oh, I see them here now at the top. Oh, here we go. Okay, we got it. We got it. All right, so let's say we were to do, I don't know. Damn, what could you use this for? What could you use this stuff for? I don't know. I can't think of the. Obviously, I'm not. This is where my brain meets a limit. I can't think of like drawings and stuff like that. I have a cousin of mine. Damn, if you guys ever see someone so like he's talentful, like he's got talent.
So this looks more like it's just 2D basic clip art.
I'm sure you could get more intricate with it though. So like to create icons, like let's say you wanted to create, I guess you could use it for that. So like let's say you wanted to create like custom icons for your website, you could probably, you know, like this would be a great icon. Like let's say I want to do a check mark, but I don't want to do just a regular check mark. You need so right, let's see what it does with text. Well, I don't know. You guys can play with it. I just saw it on IG. I thought it was cool. So that's auto draw. All right, the last one I want to try is actually called rows. This one I think might be a little bit more practical. Search your entire workspace with keywords and find existing rows, codes, and notebooks. Export data Power AI, add code. Explain with distinct headings, bold italics, text and list. Let's give it graph of the relationship between money and patience. Let's see what this does. Forgot what this one did. Like this one, how I saw it on IG was that it would create like graphs and stuff, like professional graphs for you. So like I thought for people that work in finances or that they need to do a project for customers and they want to like visually show them. Okay, so know the exact rows code do you want to use, know a code module. So how do you create one? No, I don't know this. Notebooks, Zillow, Fred, finance guys. Let's see. Oh shit. Okay, I see. So you see, like it helps you do stuff like this. So let's look at another example. Ethereum. Let's look at Zillow. Okay, this one. All right. Zillow home value index added February 3. It tells you the typical home value in a given geography, metro, city, zip code, now and over time, all homes, single family residence condos, co-ops. So housing indices. So yeah, you see, like this is what it does. I don't know exactly how it works, but it creates like visuals for you, like graphs and stuff, like stuff like this. Top 10 most expensive states. Hawaii, Utah, California, Oregon, Washington, New Jersey, Idaho, Washington. This is cool because it's like it's a graph that's kind of like alive. You can. This is cool. Now, how you do this? That's what I don't know. That's gross.
That's basically taking real life data that's on the internet and then generating graphs for you.
Maybe that's what it does. So let's do something. Let's try that with an AI. All right, this is the last example, and then we can wrap up. So, what are the top 10 richest states in the US? How much money does each have in their budgets? What population do they have? As of my knowledge, the 10 richest states in the United States based on per capita income are as far as Connecticut. For real? Oh shit! Did not know that. And we don't make the cut. Damn, we slacking on the payments. Actually, let's copy this one. Let's go over to this place. Book. So we give it this information about. I don't know how to work this. It looked easy when I saw it, but you know, you can just go to ChatGPT and be like, what software or AI tool will help me create visuals? Kind of Adobe Creative Cloud, Tableau, Power BI, Plotly, Google Data Studio. It's a free tool that enables you to create interactive reports and dashboards using data from various sources. It offers a wide range of this. Okay, so you see, like that's how I use all of these stuff. Like if I have a problem, I'll just come in and ask it, and then now we have something else. Sometimes I've even asked how to do something on a specific software, like how do I change my Netflix password? And even it knows that. So to change your Netflix password, you can follow these steps. I don't even know how that's legal, honestly. But it is what it is. Open the web browser, sign in. That's crazy that it knows, like, that it's telling people stuff about businesses. That's the crazy part, about specific businesses. So like if it talks garbage about your business, that would suck. Or like if you're like, what are the 10 worst companies, and it puts you in there, damn, like where are you basing that out of?
Right, like this information fact checked at some point.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I don't think they're gonna stop it. They might regulate some of it, but I think that the trend is here to stay. I don't think this is not a joke. Like the power of this is not a joke. Like I don't think this is gonna go anywhere. They might regulate it like they regulate the internet, you know. But this is definitely here to stay. And I think it's a good thing for the most part. It's kind of like the internet. I think for the most part, it has a lot of good uses, and it has a lot of negative stuff that comes with it as well. But you know, we'll see what comes out of it in the future. Hopefully it doesn't rise up and kill us.
No robots, right?
I think we're going there. I think eventually, but eventually we're gonna become robots. Like we're already like people, there's people out there with like, you know, metal knees and organs that are 3D printed and stuff. So
True.
it's, I don't know, it's hard stuff to wrap our head around. Anyways, that was cool, guys. I learned a lot of stuff. I'm definitely excited about some of the tools. You know, we definitely got to revisit this topic in a month or so and kind of see what we've implemented, what we've been using, what we've been doing. But we're good to wrap up. Any last
Appreciate it.
thought?
I was wondering, where do you get like the news for all that, like AI news?
Actually, I've just been seeing it on Instagram. Like I follow a couple of theme pages on Instagram, like business pages, like Business Week, Wealth, business tips. I also follow like some influencers and stuff. And
Okay.
I don't know all the latest about it. Like I'm not on the trend, you know, like that. But I mean, I just tried it one day. I saw the power of it, and I've definitely started implementing it. And then I have my staff use it. So like, for example, Rolf comes in, he does, like, I'm like, hey, I want to send an email marketing today. He comes in and he gets the email from this, saves me the trouble of coming up with the idea. Then I just revise it, make it a little bit more human, give it back to him. I'll just reply on like a chat that we have, and then he goes and posts it. Same thing with the Instagram posts. Like I don't do those. He does it. He gets the copy from there. He'll change some things. So it's just, I'm just looking at how I can implement it. So I'm not on top of the news like crazy, but I do read the news, and you know, if it comes, something comes out, like I know ChatGPT is on trouble because they basically just stole all the data out there with like no permission. So
Scraping a lot of information. Twitter, Elon just kind of locked down that because it's been scraping all of their data and information. So
yeah, but I mean, Google's been doing that forever now too. So I don't know where they're gonna. I think they're just trying to put a stop on the power of that this company is having. Because I mean, they basically have a tool that's telling people what to do, what to think. So it is, you know, I've bought a software that ChatGPT recommended to me. That's a lot of power that that company has, and it's no longer private. It used to be open AI. Now it's not private anymore. Nobody knows what's really going on behind the scenes. So you don't know if they're giving it like political biases, or if they're twisting some facts, or if the machine's just making some mistake somewhere. But like I said, there's no stopping it. So they're gonna have to just work a way to figure it out. And then I'm excited to see competition come across too, because then that makes the whole thing work a lot better
Right.
and cheaper. And so we'll see. Anyways, let's wrap up, guys. I'm exhausted. I feel like I've been speaking since yesterday. I had 3 workshops yesterday. So
it's called.
It's time for a nightcap.
What was that?
I said it's time for a nightcap.
Yeah. I'm gonna go and finish. I'm watching Alone, so I'm gonna go finish that. I'm on the last episode. You guys watch that show? That's the only competition show I can tolerate. But yeah, Maria, you joined a little too late.
I know, I just got home from work. I was like, oh no.
No worries. So I gotta wait a little bit for the recording to process and then post it, but I'll definitely post the recording. But we're wrapping up right now.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. All right, guys. Good night. Thank you for coming. Fernando, I'm glad that you were able to come make it in here. And I'll see you guys on the next one.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.